Hi Leute, Dessano hier. True to Loot und ich haben gestern den Special Report von Titelupdate 17 und der Season 11 von Massive mitgestreamt. Wer unsere Reaktion darauf nochmal sehen möchte, der kann sich das hier gerne anschauen.
My name is Daria Iliana. I'm the community developer for the Division 2, and today with me is a very special guest, Morten Reiberg.
Sag Bescheid, Leute, wenn das von der
for the Division 2. Hello, Morten. It's super exciting to have you here.
Der Lautstärke okay ist.
Hi, Daria. It's really good to be here.
Yeah, and today we're gonna have a lot of exciting news to share, but before we'll dive into that, here is a few announcements. So first of all, if you have any questions, we're going to have time for them in the end of the stream, hopefully 15-20 minutes. So feel free to leave your questions in the chat. Our community managers will pick them up from there. And unfortunately, on YouTube, you won't be able to leave any questions. We'll have to disable the chat there. But good news, we're now on YouTube, so you can watch us on two screens at the same time. It's probably going to be weird, but you can try anyway. And for the discussion topics today, of course, we're going to talk about Season 11, which we are very excited to release finally. Also, we're going to show you the new trailer, the new Manhunt targets, new gear. Probably some of you have already seen that during the PTS. But not everything.
Nope.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. So there is going to be a lot of surprises, and if you're interested to see a very familiar item from the Division 1 that is supposed to be part of the Division 2 now, stay tuned. We're gonna show it. Also, we're going to talk about some PvP quality of life updates, some PTS results as usual. We're going to showcase the new April event.
Yep.
And also discuss briefly Descent and ETF situation.
Correct.
And talk about future plans.
Oh,
yes.
The most exciting part, probably. Okay,
doch ein bisschen was zur
let's
Zukunft.
dive into it.
Habe ich gerade
So before we move on to Season 11, I think it's important for us to address a few issues that's been very prominent for past few months, and community really needs to know what's going to happen with crashes on PC.
Yeah.
PC crashes jetzt.
So we know we fixed some crashes already, actually quite a lot, but there are some big issues that are basically legacy issues from way back, and we have identified them, which is really good, because that's kind of the basis for actually being able to address it. So the mandate right now is that we will add some very specialized people to the team that is needed in order to fix these. So that includes engine programmers and render programmers that will be added in Bucharest, so we can actually get to the bottom of this and hopefully get rid of all the crashes on especially PC, of course.
That's some really exciting news.
Yeah, it's very big for us to have these people once they come on the team, and they're gonna be fully focused.
Wenn das okay ist für euch, werde ich ein bisschen was übersetzen, so grob. Es geht um die PC-Crashes und es werden extra Leute eingestellt, die sich komplett nur um das Problem kümmern, um die PC-Probleme. Und das ist top.
That's really exciting. I mean, I had no idea. I'm really looking forward to it. So to basically summarize everything, we're going to have a team specifically dedicated to all the live processes, to stability issues.
Yeah.
Ist auch wichtig.
So basically just to run through
alles Vorbereitung für
all the different reports that we get and make sure, with, of course, of our quality control team, and, that we can look at it, get the data we need in order to start fixing it on a back end, and then retest, and then hopefully deploy something that the players will actually feel the impact of in the end. Yes.
Man, I'm looking forward to finally update those few cards on the known issues board dedicated to PC stability issues. And I'm sure that a lot of players, especially PC players in the community, are looking forward to those updates. So that's
of course, we don't know how long this is going to take.
Yeah.
As with all bugs, and also getting the right people in. But it's feel good to tell you the players that we know about it and we're gonna do something about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ja, ist echt gut.
Moving on.
Muss auch in Vorbereitung zu Jahr 5 muss was passieren für die ganzen PC-Leute. Muss einfach. Ganz wichtig. Wir wissen noch nicht, wann das Ganze gefixt wird, aber wir arbeiten jetzt kontinuierlich dran und müssen halt die richtigen Leute einstellen dafür.
No updates for
gut.
quite some time and
Yeah, I guess the article from way back in the fall of, 21, is still biting us a bit. We're not going to move into details on year 5. So we ask you to wait a little longer on that kind of detail. So for now, we don't have information to share.
Keine großen Details zu Jahr 5.
Year 5 update, we'll get in on all things year 5 and how we're going to change the game.
And I assume that for year 5, as soon as we're done with the season 11 release, we'll probably update the roadmap to let everyone know what are our future plans.
Yeah, we have some good plans for a year 5 update to all our players, and we'll let you know when we're ready to reveal that kind of information.
Yeah, but this stream
klar,
is not about
klar.
about season 11.
Correct.
Erst Season 11, TU17 und danach wird die Roadmap abgedatet.
Exciting news, probably a lot of you already know about that, but the Division 2 is now available on Steam.
It is.
Since January.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting. And yeah, there are a lot of questions about Steam Deck.
Yeah, so we had a little internal competition going
gut, da
on.
muss jetzt drüber reden über das Steam Deck, geht Hand in Hand mit den Problemen, die PC-Spieler haben. Ne?
So it is now fully functional with the easy anti-cheat on Linux.
Man hat ja einen richtig guten Start gehabt auf Steam.
On Steam Deck natively. We're still struggling to get the full certified stamp.
Die sehen ja, dass die Leute Bock haben auf sowas, ne?
Technicalities on screen keyboard readability.
Da müssen sie was machen.
But we're really happy with the game actually being fully functional on deck. So if you feel like being comfortable in the couch.
Hat jemand von euch ein Stream Deck? Schreibt's mal rein. Weil die reden gerade über Stream Deck und wegen der Integration und so.
Yeah,
und die Leute, wie geil das wäre Division schon auf dem Stream Deck, ne? Finde ich schon mega.
So you want to give it a try. It's already available.
A new agent is joining your team. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning. Entering dark zone.
Yeah, we've received
Emir, Dankeschön. Bisschen laut, gell?
Hilft jetzt Dessano beim Training.
Not being delivered or being delivered, but not showing up in the mailbox.
Vielen Dank, Emir, für den Prime-Sub.
A big issue right now.
Ja, geht um den Ressourcenbehälter, der zugestellt wurde, ne?
For some people it is a minority, but still
manche haben ihn immer noch nicht, gell?
It's extremely frustrating that some players are not receiving the grants that we set up.
Ja, ist krass.
We're working very hard to fix it with an online team here at Massive. But we will most likely tomorrow extend the period for when we do the compensation cash grant.
Schreibt doch, hat mitbekommen, ist echt krass.
On a few other smaller things, but knowing that there's still people out there that needs to get it, that is the right decision to make at this point.
Yeah, and I would also mention that if you're worried or for some reason you think that you did not receive the grant or you received it but you were not able to find it in your mailbox, just saw the message or saw the receipt, there is no need for you to reach out to support right now.
Ihr braucht den Support nicht anzuschreiben für alle, die ihren Behälter nicht bekommen haben. Das wird automatisch passieren.
To prevent the tickets from piling up. Because it's obviously puts a lot of pressure and support, and it's our responsibility to actually fix it. So.
Correct.
Yeah. And before we will move to some other things, there is one last question since I have you here and you're very knowledgeable about a lot of things. It's probably a question like I will ask you honestly as a noob. And I know that's also a problem that some of the players ran into. So talking about global directives.
A new agent is joining your team. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning. Entering dark zone.
It does not really
WVN-Fenrir.
Ich muss halt leiser machen.
Hilft jetzt Dessano beim Training.
Yeah.
Willkommen.
So we've seen
Henry, danke dir. Vielen Dank, mein Lieber.
And comments that the difficulty was available in the classified assignment missions, and it was at the time unintended behavior for the game. That also means that this is actually happening because it's taking the difficulty that you set on the global setting and applying that to all content. Which means that if you go to a mission and try to start it and you can't complete it and you think, all right, I'll redo it on a lower difficulty, well, it doesn't really affect the mission difficulty unless you lower the global setting difficulty. And that also happens with the directives, which is why directives is available in certain areas that normally wouldn't, the raids as an example. And we actually think that it's a really cool thing, and we're actually working on implementing this for real across these activities, so that you would be able to, like with all missions, select the difficulty for the classified missions and the directives.
Okay, also die Geheimaufträge waren nicht geplant, ob man die in einer höheren Schwierigkeit spielen kann. Das war ein Bug.
Not the difficulty, of course, but
Working on it,
to apply directives to them. Just for the added fun for those players that feel that it can be a chore to get through a normal difficulty rate. I'm not one of them, but there are certainly many.
Das ist echt geil. Das ist eine Sache, die immer gut ist, ne?
Should we expect that one?
I don't want to promise anything, but we're working on it for sure.
Okay.
We're working on it. Jedes Mal einen Schnaps trinken. Bam!
The idea is good enough.
Ist doch mal was hier,
ja,
oder?
Okay, definitely.
Ist doch was.
And I think we can actually move to discussing the PTS results.
Okay, jetzt PTS.
To those of you who has no idea what PTS is, it's a possibility for our PC players to test the upcoming content.
Wie gesagt, Leute, ne?
Seasonal
Wir hatten nur eine PTS-Phase, Feedback abgegeben und seitdem nie wieder was gehört. Deswegen sehr gespannt jetzt.
And make some good adjustments.
Yep, correct.
And yeah, this PTS had a lot of PvP quality of life updates, and I think we can talk about them. I already see that on the screen, Jammer.
So when we tested the new functionality to the Jammer on the PTS,
ja, hoffe ich auch, Fenrir.
You had to match
the skill
level of the opposing player. So that was a bit drastic, and we heard that. So what we're actually doing, and you can bring up the graphic
PvP update.
So what we're basically doing is that we are adding so that it can actually jam plus 3 skill tiers to your own skill tier, meaning that, let's say you have 0 skill tiers, you can still jam players that have 1, 2, and 3 skill tiers. And of course that goes all the way up, meaning that if you have 3 skill tiers, you can jam even skill tier 6. This is still being balanced, I would say, depending on how the meta plays out during season 11. I want to leave room for this to be adjusted because it's very easy for us to make it maybe only plus 2 or whatnot, but it's very important that we start addressing this because it's a very, very easy skill to use and it completely handicaps skill players. But at least it also leaves room for those that are not skill based player builds to jam the others. And the other bullet is for the sticky. We can bring that up. We're not changing anything to the EMP sticky, meaning that if you are running a 0 skill tier build, or maybe 1 with the memento, you can still use the EMP sticky. It does require some more skill to use.
Man muss immer am Patch Day spielen, damit man das überhaupt sagen kann, never play on Patch Day.
Have a more range in terms of what it actually jams. But right now, of course, we've seen the comments that players can it just disable instead of destroy? That functionality is not really in our game, and it would require a lot of rebuilding. So this is what we can do right now, as we wanted to address it. And then we'll keep reading the feedback and see where we take this. It'll also be discussed with the ETF that we come back to later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, I'm just going to mention that whenever we have PTS and some changes come as a result of us reacting to the feedback we saw during the BTS. It doesn't mean that those changes would stay like that forever, because whenever the wider player base gets their hands on the update, of course, the feedback can be completely different, and that's totally normal. So just letting you guys know that everything is in your hands.
Yeah.
Play season 11 tomorrow and let us know what you think about those changes. And yeah, there is
So, Feedback wollen sie haben, ne? Für Leute, die PvP spielen. Ich warte auf Division Heartland, was PvP angeht. Aber falls jemand von euch PvP spielt, haut denen die Dings raus. Havut, ich weiß, dass du spielst PvP. Auf jeden Fall. Haut denen Feedback raus.
Since its inception, it's been wrong. So yeah, it's finally been corrected and scales correctly in PvP. So that's a big relief for a lot of players.
Yeah.
Going into season 11 for sure.
But that's not it. There another thing that we asked you to test during the BTS, and it actually resulted in a lot of discussions among the community. It's adding the few exotics that are otherwise exclusive to a specific content, namely raids.
Geht die Raid Exotics in der Dark Zone.
Now we're adding them to the Dark Zone. And you can see those exotics on the screen right now. It's Ravenous, Bighorn, and Eagle Bearer. And what is important to mention here, that this change is not an attempt to kill raids or affect raids in any way.
Dann,
it's just an opportunity.
Warning. You are now entering a contaminated area.
Either have problems with fighting a raid group or do not have enough time.
DJ Kara S, vielen Dank für den Follow.
Beat the raid, because we all know how complicated that game mode is. It's just an opportunity to receive those exotics in the Dark Zone.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. I think
Absolutely.
So. The desire from our side is that it's still a lot easier to obtain these items if you find a group and play with them and go through the raid.
Person hat gerade schön zu umschreiben
and have
mit
them
den Raid
dropping
Exos.
inside the Dark Zone and extracting them.
Aber
so
sagen, sie wollen den Raid
the
nicht
drop
killen.
chances are lower than other exotics in the Dark Zone. And
das wird aber ultimativ darauf hinauslaufen.
You of course also need to get them out, as they do drop as contaminated loot.
They do. And actually I have the note here that the exotic drop chance is similar to the one on Heroic in the open world, in the live world. So it's not really a high percentage.
No. But it's there. It's going to add some fun, hopefully. Some more, upbeat discussions. There are open mics. It's always fun to listen to that. And we can discuss if it's toxicity or just playing on each other's nerves. I guess it's the latter.
But I'm 100% sure that it won't take anything from the Raiders community, and we know and appreciate their efforts in helping each other, helping players within the community find the groups and actually beat the raids. And I'm sure that this specific, situation where you not only come together to beat the raid, but find, good people within the community, new friends, new teammates.
Nee, ich bin kein Fan davon.
Something that
Ich überhaupt nicht. Dark
Zone can compensate for, definitely.
Die Person das schön zu reden, das gefällt mir nicht.
Mehr zum Kotzen, eher.
The Dark Zone will no longer have non-contaminated loot dropping. So the targeted loot will now again be contaminated and needs to be extracted.
Starting with
Season 11.
Ja, der Bug mit dem kontaminierten Loot, der direkt in die Tasche geht, das wird gefixt.
Ja.
Back to the normal Dark Zone. We've been a bit generous in Season 10 due to a bug, but it's been decided a long time ago that we wanted to change it back with this change of the exotics. That's coming with the update tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the percentage of extraction is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's possible for us to track that data, we'll definitely share it with everyone in the community to just compare it.
Ich habe nicht viel PvP gemacht in Division 2, aber doch PvP da muss an der Wurzel gepackt werden. Nicht
once and for all.
Irgendwelchen Exos.
Ja.
But PvP changes and quality of life updates, of course, that was not everything that we had during the BTS last time around. There were a few updates that we also wanted to mention. And I'm seeing on the screen something that was not.
Yeah, this is not PvP, but yeah.
Yeah, not PvP and not BTS, but Mortem, I'll let you comment on that anyway.
Yeah, I just want to mention we've had on the known issues board for some time the conflict XP. We know that it's a big desire for the conflict players to have XP added to their shade level. We are working on it. We hope to have it in with this season, but unfortunately, it's going to take a little more time to get it ready.
Black Sword, no need.
It was apparently a bit different from what we had expected in the beginning, so it has to be with the next season, unfortunately. So it's going to be the first season of Year 5 we are aiming for. I really wanted to get it in, but it's just not possible.
Ja, zu Spezialisierungsänderungen kam noch nichts früher. Das ist Jahr 5 alles.
Happened, and that's one of the outcomes.
And I guess that can also become part of the PTS next time we have it.
Konflikt XP wird angehoben, ja, das ist auch so eine Sache wie...
Yep. And a few other things.
Dafür muss es richtig funktionieren.
People were discussing after the last PTS, for example, the hot shot.
Yeah.
Das gute Hotshots Gear-Set.
Working as intended now.
yeah, we know that, but we'll just probably keep monitoring the performance and see how it plays out whenever everyone gets their hands on Season 11.
There's one especially one comment on the new exotic Sacrum Imperium that was, we understand the desire to have that. It was adding a scope functionality to it. So what we will do later in Season 11 is that we will add the C79 scope to the Sacrum Imperium, so you can have that, choice of zooming in or not. So that's going to be a welcome change, both in PV and PvP.
Definitely. And if we can have the previous picture back here, there is another update that's going to be available for you.
Okay, also die
Yes. So this
das Hotshot Gear Set, das so lala ist, das bleibt erstmal drin und wird geguckt, wie Feedback diesbezüglich ist. Haben sie eigentlich schon in der PTS bekommen.
To give more depth to all our masks.
Und die Sniper, die neue, die exotische, die bekommt einen Scope, weil die hat direkt reingezoomt. Und jetzt bekommst du einen variables Scope innerhalb der Season, das C97 Scope.
Mal gucken. Behind the mask and we hope you'll enjoy these small and subtle features that just sneak their way into our updates.
Yeah, the way you also sneaked this specific picture into the live stream, because small things like that are actually super exciting, and they make the game as beautiful and immersive as it is, and it's very important. It's a big part of the Division fantasy.
Immersive, yeah.
And I guess with that, we are done with the PTS discussion, and we can finally showcase you and show you the Season 11.
Yeah.
Yep. Can we show the trailer, please?
Trailer, okay.
We got used to winning, to defeating our enemies, or turning them to our cause.
Ich, ne?
Yeah.
But now they have their own alliance, led by Sokolova. And if the mastermind of the Black Tusk is coming to Washington, it will be to eliminate the division. That's why she needs Stovepipe. They don't care about the cost, only who wins.
Lecker. nicht so viel Energie in Content wie in den Trailer stecken würden, ne?
Ja, Mann. Denke ich mir auch.
It was a very cool trailer. I love it.
Trailers,
Yeah, I hope you all liked it.
I mean, it's really amazing. It's impressive.
We've been waiting so long to show this.
Oh, I love that one. Oh,
Ja.
I love it. The
Sokolova sah
blinking.
gut aus.
Ja.
So, as you can see, Season 11, Reign of Fire, that will become available to you tomorrow after the maintenance. Features the new primal
target,
prime target. And his name is Zachary Stovepipe Beatty.
Jetzt muss aber nachgucken. Wie hieß der nochmal das Hauptziel der Manhunt? Wie hieß der? Wir haben das heute Morgen doch beim Frühstück, haben wir das doch.
Ja.
Wie hieß der? Wie war der nochmal? Ne? Ja.
So yeah, as usual, the manhunt, you will need to beat Chunks, Bantam, Cursed, and Onti in order to get the intel on Stovepipe.
Onti, guck mal, meine Tante ist da.
Die Tante ist da.
Die Tante.
Those are very interesting targets.
Yeah,
Der Verfluchte.
There's some really cool stuff also in the bios and
Zweites
stuff.
soll eigentlich Batman heißen.
That I'm sure some players will dig into. The story overall in season 11 is, the conclusion to our year 4. I'm really excited to see the reactions of players getting this conclusion and Stovepipe as a character, that we're all going for, and of course the omnipresent Sokolova. She's starting to really make herself
Wo holt der in der Apokalypse so einen Friseur her, Alter?
in our story and in our lore. So that's definitely some very cool moments coming up.
Funny boy.
Kudos to our narrative director, Lauren Stone,
Yeah.
for creating such an immersive story. I mean, we obviously don't want to give away any spoilers.
No, that would be a bit sad, but yeah. It's we know that there's some weeks to go before you have the conclusion, but
Moin Nenk,
I'm
mir geht's super, danke euch Leute. Schön, dass ihr da seid.
It's gonna be a very special experience for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the continuation of the story.
Yeah, me too.
Ich schieb mich immer ein bisschen hin und
I
her
won't
hier.
comment on the stovepipe looks.
Jetzt habt ihr den Sunny Boy nicht gesehen, jetzt war ich an der Stelle. Ui.
Yeah, he seems a bit cocky, right?
Yeah. Okay, enough about stovepipe, but he looks good. So let's talk about gear, talents, and new weapons that we also got to have with Season 11. Some of them were available as during the PTS, but the most important thing was not, and I would let Morten comment on it.
Ja.
Yeah, there's a certain backpack coming back to our game. On top of course, the new brand set and gear set, and the 2 new exotics. So there's the Ninja Bike messenger bag. Here we see it. The reveal.
The reveal, yes.
Ja, optisch sieht es schön aus, ne?
Genau.
So, the
Schniekes
most
Ding.
asked question since the PTS.
Her mit den Stats.
Where do you get this?
Ja,
And
und woher?
The second
Genau.
most asked question.
Will
what
it be locked?
cause will it have?
Yeah.
Kostet 15 Euro.
So to answer those, it won't be locked behind the progression.
No. It will be on the Season Pass track.
Sehr gut. Season Pass. Hier mit den Ninja Bike.
It will have all 3 cores like the Memento.
I wanted to
okay.
show
Wie
like
Memento.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 cores and obtainable.
Was hat er gesagt?
Almost immediately. I mean, it depends
Wie
on
Memento.
how fast you
Rot,
will
blau,
be able to
gelb.
unlock it on the season pass, but you need to
ist okay.
wait until the climax mission and the end of the manhunt to get it.
Schon mal gut.
Yeah,
Und im Season Pass mit drin als Belohnung. Wahrscheinlich Level 100. Oder paar 90.
So, yeah,
Das ist
we'll
super.
see this
doch,
probably
Level.
in the game
Ja.
during this week. For
Im
sure.
Season Pass. Aber
There will be
das
some
habe ich
that
verstanden, okay.
just can't resist and just go straight after it. and then we'll see the meta, how it will evolve with this item, because for sure it opens up a lot of different variations, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all the creativity from our players here.
Yeah, finally, worthy contender to Memento.
Hopefully. Right?
Ja, Memento ist schon schwer stark.
Like
Ich weiß, das wird schwierig.
Since it arrived. So we hope this can actually add some variety in the builds. Yeah.
Yeah, and about Season Pass, it's gonna be available starting tomorrow for 1,000 premium credits, and it's also gonna feature 12 new weapons skins. And I think we have a few of them that we can show. Yeah.
12?
Oh, we have already.
12 skins,
Yes.
And also in my notes. And 11 new gear dice and 2 new face masks.
Correct.
Yes.
Season passen immer moin separat auseinander.
So one of the masks is going to be available as a level 100
Du merkst,
reward.
die listen
Those
das
are very
auf, damit sie ein bisschen so zeigen, als
I
ob sie
don't
so
think that we have them
was zu
here,
bieten
but
haben,
it's going to be a
ne?
very
Sowas
Ich sage,
haben sie nie aufgelistet.
Ich weiß. Jeder von euch, der das Franchise liebt, wer die Hassliebe lebt,
Season Pass,
holt euch den Pass.
Levels
Scheiß auf die
can
10
be
Euro.
purchased for premium credits.
Yes.
So
Ja,
if you,
Gebe
if
ich
you
dem
don't
Dessano
feel
recht.
like grinding
Einfach als
for a
Support.
Memento
Ja.
backpack or Sacrum Imperium, because Sacrum Imperium is also not locked behind the Manhunt. It's
Ein
available
Döner weniger.
on the
Ein Döner weniger, ist so.
Correct.
Ein Döner weniger ist echt krass, 8 Euro oder was,
I
gell?
really love that one. I mean,
Die Sacrum sieht mega geil aus, ne? Also das schon gesagt, geiles Ding.
I saw a really funny video. I can't remember.
Dennis, vielen lieben Dank für dein Follow.
Where he slowed one of the big
Optisch schön.
guys. So he was moving super slow motion while he was shooting and burning him. Yeah, it's gonna add some really fun moments. This
Richtig schöner Style.
So yeah, I mean,
das geht nicht,
probably
Pense.
a lot of you already realize that, but this season is also playing a lot into the rifle and sharpshooter fantasy.
It's all about headshots, sniper fantasy and headshots. Yeah. So here we have the hotshot gear set in all its glory, and yeah, those that can really land consecutive headshots, they will have fun with this one.
Mann, ey.
Sure.
Dass die sagen, mit dem
And all the
das
information
Feedback im PTS hat denen wohl nicht gereicht. Das ist total
here's
krass.
some gear dice. I love them.
Oh, das ist schön.
Skins.
Guck mal.
Ja.
Oh,
schöner
yeah.
Weapon-Skin.
Sorry. Yeah.
Geil, gut
Also
aus.
Skin.
Ja.
This is
dachte
this is
jetzt-
why it's
Ja,
so
mit
good
Skins
to have
kriegst du
you
mich so
here.
ein bisschen, weißt du? Da kriegst du den Vater immer an die Angel.
You
Ein
can't see
bisschen
the
so.
tiger
yes.
face in this
Disco
video.
Disco
but,
Tiger.
You'll see it with the good lighting in the game.
Oh, that's my
Oh,
favorite
guck mal.
one.
Oh, the waffle.
Yeah, I really love how
Waffelskin für den Famas,
chocolate
korrekt.
doesn't look
Schön,
like
schön, dass auf der
chocolate,
Famas.
that's what makes this
Obwohl Action Push ja, sowieso.
gear die so good. Oh, gear
echt
die,
geil aus.
weapon skin.
Weil es reichen 10 Euro Inflation und so.
But what I wanted to mention super quickly is that
Ich hoffe.
I forgot.
Ich hab noch Credits drauf.
No, I remembered. Sorry. So every weapon, every talent will be listed in our patch notes that we're gonna release actually tonight.
Oh,
with
geil.
the
Patch Notes kommen
announcement of the
heute
maintenance
noch.
that we're gonna have tomorrow. So if
Sehr
you
gut.
have any questions, if you wanna
Oh,
make sure,
schöner Tag heute.
just
Ja.
check our
Lecco
socials
mio.
later tonight.
Bam!
And all the quality of life.
Yeah, everything is gonna be there, and the Sacrum Imperium, all the new exotics, the ninja, like messenger backpack, everything is there.
Cool.
But
Sehr
that's not it. I mean, we've talked about gear weapons that are exclusive and specific to season
That's not it?
11, but there
Natürlich
is
schön.
something
That's not
to
it.
mention
There's
about
one
the
more.
exotic from season 10.
Uhuhu.
Yes.
Yes,
Actually, a few things that we need to
Two
mention
things.
about Dr. Home. Yeah.
About Dr. Home.
Dr. Home. Achtung!
So once we know that we promised to grant this to all the players, and it will happen. But first we focus on actually fixing the grant system, and then we'll get back to making sure that you get it. It will be in the general loot pool
Moin, Gonzo.
from tomorrow, so every player can obtain it through that.
Ich will nicht hören, wo es
But
finde. Ich will, dass sie geändert wird. Achtung!
We're actually changing a few things to increase the value of the item.
Nice.
So it's basically we're changing the armor regen. We're nerfing that from 15% to 10%, But that is because we will, instead of you dropping an item and you have to pick it up, we're basically making a mark on the target, and when the target dies, it applies the 10% armor to your group.
Oh, geil.
So
das ist nice.
No need to pick up anything.
Du markierst das Ziel, killst das Ziel und kriegst instant die Rüstung. Ja, musst nicht mehr aufheben.
To the weapon as I see it.
Sehr gut.
So that's
sehr gute Änderung, ja.
No overhealing or, overhealing.
Von 15% auf wie viel?
Auf
10% runter, aber dafür ohne Aufheben.
Ist gut. Original armor.
Sehr gut.
But
sehr gut.
For sure it's gonna be really interesting to see the performance of the weapon from tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah,
aber wie gesagt,
also
der Scope muss weg von der.
Das
ist eine CQB, das ist eine Close Quarter, da will ich keinen Scope haben. Oder ich will die Möglichkeit haben.
Also
Fokus soll auch funktionieren.
Jetzt kannst du aber aus der Ferne schießen.
Ja, kannst du. Aber dann hätten sie eine M1-Exo machen sollen, keine CQB, weißt du, macht keinen Sinn.
It will.
So, check it out later tonight. And I think that anything else you want to mention about Season 11? Apart from that, the trailer is really great, and the new prime target is really hot guy.
Ja.
No, I think that's it sums it up, and we'll let the players experience. All the
Er hat's bestätigt gerade, dass das Sunny Boy ist.
Hopefully with a lot of comments and feedback.
Yeah, and looking forward to how many.
Sunny Boy habe ich zu wenig Haar.
Gonna have Ninja Bike Messenger backpack as their go-to item. Okay, and one last thing that is related to Season 11 is the April event. That's going to call
Bekleidungsevent.
Yes.
And we can show it here. It's going to have 6 full cosmetic outfits and 3 reward masks, completion reward masks. Right? Right.
Yes.
Yes. So there were a few snapshots. As you can see, the fantasy behind it is very...
Camo,
tactical, yeah. That's something that's
a bisschen aus wie
a lot of time now, so hopefully you guys gonna enjoy it. Very nice.
Let's go.
Ein Let's Go!
Let's go! Oh, shoot, jetzt. Oh, du musst dich
tragen.
Musst du sofort tragen, darfst dich nie wieder ausziehen.
Probably weird to say that's something that looks so tactical and camouflagey is cute.
They also need time to just sit.
Alter, ich muss mal meine Ubisoft-Millionen investieren, muss dem mal sagen, ich will auch ein eigenes eigenen Skin haben.
We're excited to get this out. So this will be, of course, not tomorrow, but in a few weeks.
Moin Timo! Mit der
we'll have the April event coming up.
Yeah, and it will also update you with all the information about the keys. Because every April event, we're coming to the same problem. People do not know where to get the keys. But don't worry, we'll definitely showcase that as well.
Yeah, so all players get 1 key.
Yeah.
No matter if you own the premium or not.
Ja, alles fit, Timo, danke dir.
And then, of course, there's 3 additional keys for
3 Monate verschoben
premium owners, just as usual.
Wie gesagt,
and 1 key
wir haben Codeprobleme.
For shade levels.
Also keine Kackerprobleme, andere.
At least 3 different ways of obtaining the keys.
Yeah, and you can, if you feel like it, you can buy and grant keys to your younger sibling, or if you know somebody you wanna.
You want to look cute in the tactical outfit.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay then, and there are a few things that we wanted to briefly comment on. I think we'll start with Descent game mode.
Oh, the Descent?
Originally it was supposed to be part of the Season 11.
Genau, der eigentlich mit Season 11 hätte kommen sollen.
We announced on the previous live stream. But since then, a lot of things has changed, and the most important part of it is that we decided to include a co-op option.
Yeah. So there was a lot of questions about was it single player only or not? It was intended to at least be co-op at some point, and we really wanted and needed to improve on the on this aspect of the game mode. To make it compelling and really feel right when playing in a group, because as roguelite-inspired game mode. It's quite different. We're gonna go into all the details in the next live stream. But just knowing that playtests are ongoing. We're playtesting ourselves and it's super fun. So we can't wait.
Wie gesagt, der Spielmodus könnte richtig nice werden für nicht nur für uns alle, sondern nur für Leute, die keinen Bock haben auf die Division-Loot-Spirale an sich, sondern einfach nur so einen schnellen Modus haben wollen, ne? Ein Roguelite halt.
It's going to be included in the next season's BTS. So basically, the first season of Year 5, we're going to have Descent game mode available
Potenzial,
here
das
in
Ding.
the BTS. And we'll share more information about that once we're closer to that specific moment. So a little bit later, we'll need to get through Season 11 first.
Aber der war ursprünglich als Solo geplant, richtig?
Ursprünglich als Solo und Koop bisschen später. Jetzt wird der Koop direkt zum Start.
In the coming months, yeah. But it's so exciting. I mean, I'm head over heels about this game mode. It's really fun to play.
Ist ein bisschen anders, Ami.
Definitely play it in the multiplayer.
Damit ist ein bisschen anders.
With multiplayer and the fact that du
startest im Descent mit nichts, also nur mit einer Pistole quasi, ne? Wer Survival in Division 1 gespielt hat. Du arbeitest dich hoch, Stockwerk für Stockwerk oder Ebene für Ebene.
They just need to onboard basically in the game and
findest neuen Kram und musst damit klarkommen, was du findest.
You can start playing Descent
vom Prinzip total geil.
Because you'll have the same base gear, depending on your choices, of course. Just have fun together.
And the variability of builds that are otherwise not really accessible in that type of combination.
Genau, das ist
main game.
We're not revealing too much.
Okay.
Dadurch, dass du mit dem klarkommen musst, was du findest, hast du quasi einen extrem hohen Wiederspielwert.
Yeah. At that time, I think it was
jedes Mal
it was a bit difficult.
Jedes Mal eine andere Herausforderung. Ist schon nice.
The BTS, whenever we have it.
Yes.
And actually, talking about testing, we wanted to make a brief announcement about the ETF because also we've seen a few questions, people wondering if it's been cancelled, if it's still ongoing, and we want to ensure you that it's on track. It's happening, maybe happening as we speak at this very moment. I don't know. Do you? If you, as the ETF member, you were selected, you signed the NDA, and you either did not receive the invitation to our ETF Discord server,
für alle, die nicht wissen, was das ist, das ist die Elite Taskforce, die es schon in anderen Division-Teilen gab, so im kompletten Franchise.
Or if you have the community
Leute ausgewählt aus der Community, die eingeflogen wurden und helfen sollten, den Content zu formen.
It's gonna happen, very, very soon.
Yeah.
That's probably what we can say, right?
I don't know. We already did that.
Yeah.
Okay, we are closing to the most exciting part, I think. Apart from the stovepipe face reveal and the really cool trailer, future plans. And that is something that we have outlined on our
A new agent is joining your team. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning. Entering dark
Tut mir leid, Leute, das ist so laut ist.
Der-Nies-KR
You already
hilft jetzt Dessano beim
beginning
Training.
the
Willkommen.
XP revamp.
Dennis, vielen lieben Dank.
Yeah, that's mostly for conflict.
You are now
but
entering
Alex,
a
danke dir.
contaminated area.
XP
Danke für den Follow.
revamp that we
Danke,
have
Leute.
been mentioning before, an overhaul to the complete XP gains in different activities. It's gonna arrive with the first season in year 5, is the plan. So what we basically want to do is make sure that no one's open world activities worth more your time than others. We want to try and it can't be perfectly balanced, but at least we want to make sure that it makes sense to do all the activities that are closest to you instead of just running for the same over and over.
Okay, die XP-Vergaben werden geändert
Most
mit
of the activities will
Season 1 in Jahr 5.
XP increase and very few will
Und man habe ich euch immer gesagt, die Open World kriegt am meisten Liebe ab.
Rebalance that to make it more enjoyable to just explore and have fun in the game instead of just chasing and resetting the map.
Kann ich verstehen, bin ich Fan von. Ja.
So that's the goal.
Stupide Scheiße mag keiner.
With the first season in year 5.
Sehr gut.
Yeah, we will definitely share more information about it on the new known issues board. I think pretty much everything is in there. Probably we'll have to update it with the newest info. But yeah, if you have any questions or want to make sure that you are not missing anything, please don't forget to visit our known issues board.
Yes.
Because it's not only dedicated to the issues or problems that we have in the game, but also some future plans and the changes that we are considering. So it would be very important for us to also get your feedback on that.
Yeah, and for conflict to add to the XP gains. So of course we also want to add proficiency gains. We want to add targeted loot. And potentially exotic components chance in the caches. So that's all, part of the things that we look at constantly to try and freshen things up a bit in the game across the different modes. So this time around, it was the Dark Zone that was the focus. Not that the Dark Zone will not be a focus for the next season, but at least we want to try and do what we can for conflict because it feels like it's like a tag on at the moment that's not really a part of the economy in the game and
haut mal raus, Leute, spielen viel von euch Konflikt? Haut mal raus, das mich wirklich interessieren.
Definitely does not really help you with your shade watch.
Sondern auch mal bei dir alles schreiben, Shoot.
Yeah.
No. Bin ich echt mal gespannt.
One of the ideas behind it.
And then we have other minor, I guess, quality of life updates that we haven't mentioned. That it's all gonna be in the patch notes, of course. I think one of the ones that I want to mention because it's been a big frustration for many players is when playing Countdown. You don't really have any kind of indication as to who becomes the leader of the group. So we're adding some UI elements that will clearly show you if you have been selected the group leader. And it will also indicate very clearly when the group is full and you can start the game mode. So hopefully that will speed up the matchmaking times and queue times for players across the board.
Revo, danke dir. Vielen Dank, mein Lieber.
Very useful update for sure.
Vielen Dank.
So
Legendäre Schwierigkeit Open World.
We have
ich auch direkt nehmen,
a ton of quality of life things that we're working on, especially UI related.
Ja,
and
ein paar von euch, ne?
Some are coming now, and then we have a long list of things we want to do again for the next seasons.
Yep.
Hey.
And I think that we actually now have time to answer some of the questions. I'm sorry for being okay. so out of disrespect. I was just checking the questions.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt, was für Fragen reinkommen. Nur auf Twitch könnt ihr Fragen raushauen bei denen und
what will be the roadmap after season 11? Actually, we released a roadmap earlier. I think not even this year, probably in December last year, that features the beginning of year 5. And of course, we will be updating it closer to season 11 end, right? With more year 5 information.
Yeah. Maybe I should just, again, state that season 1 in year 5 is not a rerun of an old season. We're basically just taking away the season number from 12-13 because it doesn't really add up or align with our TU numbers, so our title update numbers. That is a term that we use in our production.
Ja, 5 wird ein komplett neuer Start.
And a lot of the community is using it as well. And that just creates a lot of weird situations. I've seen people stating, hey, it's season 17 coming soon, and it's like, what?
Ja, ich kann verstehen, PvP hat einen besonderen Stand.
So
ne?
it's just to get rid of that and
in Division 1 habe ich viel PvP gemacht, in 2 halt weniger. Meine Hoffnung liegt halt da wirklich auf Hardland.
Really try and use the name of the season more.
Oder Jahr 6, Season 1 wieder.
So no, it's not a rerun.
Who knows?
Thank you so much for clarifying that again. So there was a question about the Season 11 delay that that prevented us from having a global event for almost a month. And I remember on Twitter we were saying that we are considering this option, and this is something that we wanted.
Achso, eine Frage, warum kein Global Event lief, während der Probleme, die sie hatten zwischen der Season 10 und 11 jetzt, ne?
Since you all know it was very heavily affected, that prevented us from doing that.
Yeah, so for us to change
Vielen Dank für euer Feedback, Leute, ne? Und danke, dass ihr da seid.
Content of the season, we actually need to do a client update. So that the client is in sync with what the server is showing and telling the client. So adding a global event, it on paper it sounds super simple to just rerun a global event, but we can't. We would love to do it, and it's just one of the things that hopefully in the future we can change that behavior. But for now, that's not a possibility we have.
Yeah, but it was definitely something that we were considering from the very beginning, and we know that that's something that players wanted and we ourselves wanted, but unfortunately, technically, it was not possible at the time.
Sehr gerne. Wie gesagt, ich danke euch, Leute. Ich werde gleich noch ein Video machen mit so ein paar, mit den wichtigsten Sachen. Reden halt viel drumrum auch, ne? Mit den wichtigsten Sachen. Und dann wird es heute Abend schon die Patch Notes geben, was sehr, sehr geil ist. Das heißt, wir haben alles, was ins Detail geht, haben wir in den Patch Notes. Und alles, was grob umschrieben wird. Und so ein paar wichtige Sachen, die haben wir hier. Richtig gut.
And then they are added to the in-game store after the event is done.
So yeah, the question was specifically about the baby face mask.
The baby face, yeah, it's in the store.
Also, people asking about the rerun of the older events, specifically Hardwired, Setback.
It's not something that we are considering at the moment. So we'll see what happens. But, we have new content coming up that we're, constantly looking at and creating and planning for. And that right now is the focus instead of rerunning our old apparel events.
And are there any plans on making more apparel items on the shop available to buy with textiles?
There's no specific plans currently.
Die picken sich auch die Fragen, ne?
Ja, natürlich picken sich die Fragen raus.
Definitely not. There might be some occasions where that is a good way for us to distribute apparel items.
Du bist verrückt. Alles gut.
So, yeah, it might happen. But we don't have any specific plans right now. The time it takes to create the content for a season in terms of the characters that need dressing and you need new items, and then on top an apparel event is quite a huge task, and right now that's about what we have in terms of production capacity, but we're always looking for small holes where we can add stuff and optimize things, and then we'll see where we end up with those.
Yeah, I actually see a lot of people asking about that from time to time, but at the same time, I don't see a lot of people running in the yellow hunter outfit and the stinger one, because that was the the tracksuit, the pink tracksuit. You guys are not wearing it. Like, show us some love.
At least the yellow hunter suit.
Du Blut, danke dir. Schön, dass du da warst.
Diese Fragen eigentlich gerade im Chat.
A new agent is joining your team. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning. Entering dark zone.
Dann do we plan to add more maps to conflict?
SCORPY94X ins Pro-Noob-Training. Danke fürs Geschenk.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. First, we need to really make sure that the conflict feels right. And with that, we'll have discussions with the PvP ETF and see how we can potentially change that experience. And then, then look at, let's not discuss too much into the future. I think first and foremost, it's about, making sure that conflict feels rewarding and fun. And that can hopefully be done with some adjustments to the rewards and how the RPG is working inside that game mode.
another question from the PvP community about the cheaters and how we're actively combating that.
Tatsächlich
I think
ist
it's important to mention once again that it's absolutely necessary for you to report cheaters whenever you encounter them. Same goes for people who are, harassment or an explicit talk. If you actually encounter something that makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't matter if it's
sind schon am Ende angelangt, Baba.
Just inappropriate behavior. Please make
Scorpio,
sure
vielen Dank für den Follow noch, gell? Dankeschön.
Video is the best option here, and make sure you send the report to Ubisoft support, because unfortunately, neither me nor Morten, we cannot ban people. We do not have access to that specific system. Ja. So whenever we see your reports,
Leute, ein ganz wichtiges Thema. Wenn ihr irgendwelche Leute seht, die anderen Leuten, die das Spiel noch versauen wollen in Form von Cheats etc. pp. Oder Hacks, schreibt direkt den Support an. Am besten ein Video davon machen. Ihr könnt, wenn ihr auf der Playlist seid, die letzten paar Minuten aufnehmen. Als Beweis mitschicken.
Manual bans.
Und erst dann kann was getan werden.
Difficult to do. So any kind of evidence needs to be extremely explicit. And of course, that's easiest to see if it's a video. And especially, we've seen examples of people streaming, cheating, and shooting through walls, and and whatnot. So support can easily identify that type of cheating, but all other sorts of cheating, I know that people are discussing, lag switching or Cronus Max, whatnot. There's a lot of different things, and it's just extremely difficult for us to do anything about it. It's not that we are not trying, but
es wird besser, Poli, auf jeden Fall.
It's a matter of
die müssen abliefern.
Focus and availability and data. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes all the time, but we do what we can. But as I also stated recently, the main part of the bans comes from the automated systems through EC anti-cheat, and then support follow up with the good reports that come in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sanctioning matrix itself to kind of give you a better insight into how that works and how that operates and set up. Nobody is going to be banned on the first account. A person needs to be a reoffender to actually be banned forever. And that is a quite rare occurrence, because usually people are sane and decent enough to stop doing whatever they are doing in the game that it goes against rules whenever they get the first report.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If it's easy anti-cheat, catching you using cheat software, I'm pretty sure you're banned for life. I don't know our sanctioning history and rules, but yeah, there's definitely a big variety in how long sanctioned players are getting, depending on what they're doing in our game. But yeah,
absolutely.
We know it exists, and we are fighting all we can. But it keeps, happening again and again in all games. So
ein Kampf gegen Hacker ist ein Kampf, den du nur führen kannst, aber nie gewinnen kannst.
I will need to remind you once again that we can't ban people that you guys report to us on our personal Twitter accounts. You will still need to reach out to Ubisoft support for them to collect and store that data, because if the person is the reoffender and consistently keeps, using glitches or using inappropriate language, that should be written in the system. That information should be there. And that is the only opportunity to actually ban that person.
Correct.
So, yeah. Moving on, what do we have? A question about rates. Why don't we consider adding exotics to the discovery difficulty of rates?
I don't know. It's probably just not been on the table. We're constantly
welche Drops sind eigentlich an? Eigentlich haben die keine an. Also ich habe die in meinen Twitch-Einstellungen angestellt, dass wenn welche da sind, dass die automatisch an sind.
I can't really comment on this one because I've not been part of
the discussion. See you later.
But yeah, It's a good question. If there should be anything added to that, so we'll see what happens in future seasons.
I mean, we just added it to the dark zone, and people started complaining immediately.
That's
so
correct.
what's going to happen if we add that on discoverability?
Yeah,
discoverability. Since the raid exclusive exotics are now available to PvP players in the dark zone, will you make the dark zone exclusive gear sets available on the PvE side?
Ach so, sehr gute Frage.
We have been discussing, where we could.
Wir haben uns gefragt, dadurch, dass die Raid-exklusiven Sachen in der Dark Zone sind, war das mit den Dark Zone-exklusiven Sachen für PvE?
I'm not sure if we want to address any questions about Descent or.
Aber das ist schade, wirklich. Das ist eigentlich schade.
Ja, ist wirklich schade. Das ist ein großer Wermutstropfen.
We'll be able to play together. Descent.
That's a one group size. So that's 4 players.
4 players, yeah.
Ich hoffe, dass sie da irgendwie noch wirklich sagen, komm, wir machen extra nochmal Exotics für den Raid neue. Das wäre mega. Da gerade das Bild hängt.
So there is also a question about the Pentagon mission. And the
bei mir nicht.
Nee, ich dachte gerade, weil die ganze Zeit.
So there's the DARPA mission and the Pentagon. Die ganze
Zeit auf ihr Tablet geguckt hat.
Where people get stuck because they boost the character to New York and complete that before they've done the other one in Washington. And we know about it. We're working on it. One of them, I believe it's the DARPA one, if I'm not mistaken, has been fixed. I can't remember which update. So many title updates, but we're constantly working to fix it. We know it's annoying.
You are now entering a contaminated area.
And we will
vielen Dank für dein Follow
to fix that issue. It's a lot of new players. We've had many new players over the course of the fall and of course with the Steam introduction.
Wie gesagt, Leute, Jahr 5 ist das, was sie vorbereiten. Jahr 5 ist das, was schlussendlich die Richtung zeigen wird, in die Division 2 gehen wird. Season 11 mit TU17 ist ein kleines Update und da müssen wir durch. Schlafen ist dir womöglich, das werden wir sehen.
Another question about the crashes.
Vielen Dank für deinen Follow auch.
Will the game continue to crash on console with the upcoming update when hovering the northwest of the map? I believe that the fix is in and has been in for quite some time now.
Yeah, I think so. Also, there's another crash fix coming for the travel between New York and DC that's coming with tomorrow's update.
Yeah, because partially that was fixed after the season 10 update that we did last week. So it should be completely fixed with TU17.
Yeah.
So basically tomorrow. Question about the marksman rifle brand set. Will there be a buff or overhaul for marksman rifles? They suffer from a severe accuracy damage deficiency. I think that's what basically season 11 is about.
Season 11 is about snipers. So that I think there's like 2 questions I see a lot. So this is one of them. The damage accuracy / range, and the other one is the available ammo capacity. So we are looking at all things like this constantly, and we will, of course, with this season going live, have a closer look at the sniper rifles in particular to follow and see how they behave. Once players start playing with the new toy, and then. But then we'll drop
an update. Viele Sniper-Liebhaber unter euch, haut mal raus.
Warranted.
Weil es ganz klar.
Ninja Bike will be working with brand sets and gear sets, or only one of them? Actually,
it should definitely work with all the types of sets in the game. So it's brand sets, it's gear sets for sure. Yes. So we'll see a lot of new constellations of builds hopefully in the coming weeks.
And I think we're gonna take one last question because we're a little bit over time. There are a few questions about the changes to the existing skills. I remember that was mentioned in one of the previous streams that it's something that we're considering, that we don't want to add new skills, but rather
die Skills, die es gibt, überarbeiten. Genau so sieht's aus.
The question is specifically about the skills that are quite rarely used because they require a lot of micromanagement. But I actually don't remember.
I think that's a good question to save for our next
people.
See that little smile?
People made my day.
I'm trying to pretend that I know nothing. I actually know nothing.
Geil.
And I think, I don't see any new questions. So I guess it's time for us to conclude everything. I would really love to watch the trailer one last time, but thank you so much for being here today, be our special guest and answering all our tough questions. I really appreciate that. And I hope, guys, that you enjoyed our live stream. And once again, a reminder, Season 11, Reign of Fire, is going to be available tomorrow after the maintenance, and the patch notes are going to be posted on social media tonight. So check them out and make sure that you're going to be in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Haben wir den Trailer ohne Musik? Der Trailer läuft ohne Musik.
Ja, ich hab schon gestoppt.
Hast schon gestoppt? Okay, ja, brauchen wir den Trailer nicht.
Ich hab schon gestoppt.
Okay.
Wir schauen uns den Dessano-Stream an.
Wen?
Lieber.
Oh mein Gott. Besser nicht. Ja, was sagt ihr, Leute?
Ja, was sagst du?
Ja, ich sehe das Titel-Update so als ein Übergangs-Titel-Update, ne, wo wir durch müssen.
Ja.
Mit dem Ninja-Bike, der alles anführt und der definitiv Abwechslung reinbringt, der definitiv ganz, ganz viele Builds ermöglichen wird, was nice ist. Was fehlt, ist der Content dazu, der mit Jahr 5 kommt. Aber wir werden halt ein bisschen warten müssen noch, ne?
Ja.
An sich der Rest, wir haben so ein paar Leute eben kurz gefragt hier, wie es aussieht mit dem Snipen. Da wird doch einiges da sein für entsprechende Liebhaber. Ja. Ansonsten heißt es durchhalten. Das mit der Dark Zone ist halt scheiße. Meine Meinung und die viele anderen, finde ich, gehört da nicht rein in die Dark Zone. Da hätten sie anders anpacken müssen. Mehr bei der Wurzel, PvP interessanter gestalten über andere Wege. Ja, mal sehen. Was denkst du?
Okay. Gut, Ninja, Rucksack, ja, lieben wir alle. 3 Kernattribute ist schon mal gut, ja. Damit können wir arbeiten. Genau, Dessano, das hast du vergessen. Wie heißt die? Die Dr. Home.
Ah, die Änderung der Dr. Home, super, ja, super Änderung.
Die Dr. Home Änderung, ja, super Änderung. Da wird es auch bestimmt den einen oder anderen guten oder geilen Bild geben. Gut, die Fahndung läuft parallel. Bekleidungsevent, nur das eine Let's Go.
Ja. Let's go, besser.
Aber im Ernst jetzt, die ganzen PvP-Änderungen interessieren mich persönlich nicht. Ich bin kein PvP-Spieler, sorry. Und auch diese Änderung, dass die Exos in die Dark Zone reinkommen, absolut dagegen. Ich bin absolut dagegen, sorry.
Ja.
So. Aber mehr gab's nicht so.
Ja, ich weiß.
Viel.
Ja. Deswegen, das wird gleich echt einfach. Das wird nur so ein kleines Video mit einem Overview über die wichtigsten Sachen daraus. Und dann kriegen wir ja nachher schon die Patch Notes, was mega ist. Das ist geil.
Ja.
Das nimmt Druck von morgen, so kriegt man heute alles erledigt quasi. Und können dann morgen, wie gesagt, ne, Shoot, du bist morgen auch live, ne, zum Season-Start.
Ja.
Und ich auch, das heißt, ihr werdet genug unmenschlich
von uns haben.
Ja. Möchte ich krassen Kram sehen, moin. Bin echt gespannt. Gucken, wann es losgeht. Solange der Regulus ist ja nur geschützt, moin Pirate. Die Regulus ist nur geschützt, weil du dafür ein Projekt machen musst, zum Glück. Weil die Regulus ist eine der stärksten Raid-exklusiven Waffen. Und jetzt ist es die Raid-exklusivste, die beste Raid-exklusivste Waffe. Ab morgen. Ja.
Regulus, ja.
Ja.
Das stimmt.
Ja. Wir haben heute wieder Geld, hat aber der Pass gekauft.
So, jetzt,
guckt, liebt das
Leute,
zusammen, ja.
all die Leute, die halt hier drin sind bei mir, wie gesagt, ihr seht ja gerade den Dessano. Bitte folgt ihm.
Das hässliche Stück
macht
Elend.
geilen Content. Bitte folgt ihm und auch unsere Kollegen Nerd und Hane, bitte folgt ihr auch.
Ich kann doch
geilen
schon zurückgeben.
Content.
Ja.
Bitte dort reinchecken und auch dort followen. Super Typen.
Ja, schaut bei den Jungs vorbei. Mal ein bisschen Eigenwerbung muss sein. Das sind echt super Typen. Man findet nicht oft im Internet Leute, die nicht nur sympathisch sind, sondern auch ehrlich sind und einfach raushauen, was sie denken. Ist wirklich so.
Kann
mittlerweile
ich bestätigen.
Schwierig genug. Deswegen, Nerd und Hane und Shoot, schaut auf jeden Fall vorbei. Wie bekommt man den in den Rucksack als Exo-Drop? Der wird im Season Pass mit drin sein. Viele hatten Angst, weil die Dr. Home ja am Ende der Season rausgehauen haben. Am Ende in der Manhunt. Das wird nicht so sein. Wir werden sie ganz einfach erspielen können im Season Pass.
Die armen Ressourcenkonvois.
Die armen Ressourcenkonvois, ja. Wie gesagt, ihr könnt den hochziehen, wie ihr wollt, ne? Ganz klar. Aber, wie gesagt, die entspannteste, schönste, die anspruchsvollste Variante, so werde ich das morgen auch machen. Ein paar Direktiven, in dem Fall wahrscheinlich mich durch 5 Quellen auf heroisch stellen und dann in die Open World laufen. Das ist geil. Ja. Die hatten da doch bestimmt Forscrewed, die hinter der Manhunt zu blocken, aber der Backlash war schon bei der Dr. Home zu groß. Deswegen haben sie nicht gemacht. Ja. Sehen.
So ist das, ne?
Ja, so ist das.
Mit Division. Der Hassliebe.
Mit der Hassliebe, so ist das, ja. Ist so.
Ihr hasst es, aber ihr müsst mitmachen. Ihr
Ist
müsst.
so. Ich will immer gegen diese Scheiße, ich kann sie nicht mehr sehen. Aber, oh moin, einen Zehner habe ich noch übrig. Den Zehner gönne ich mir für eine Woche Spaß. Und dann warte ich auf Jahr 5. Ja, das ist halt einfach so. Was soll er machen, Leute? Wer das Franchise liebt, der schiebt, ne?
So sieht's aus.
Ja. Lass uns überraschen. Nicht so viel Kopf machen über Schmutz, der da ist. It is what it is. Und den Rest nehmen wir uns an Spielspaß mit.
Theoretisch haben wir jetzt 3 Exos, ja, wie heißt die? Wie heißt die Exo da? Sanctuary, die gut aussieht?
Sanctum Imperium. Das klingt
Danke,
wie,
Sanctum Imperium.
Hogwarts Legacy. Hier, guck mal. Hier ist er. Hier ist mein Zauberstab. Da kann man bestimmt ein geiles Short rausmachen. Hier ist mein Zauberstab, den habe ich hier rausgezogen. Ja?
Das ist ein bisschen versetzt bei mir.
Imperium.
Ach so, das blaue Ding da.
Da habt ihr euren Hogwarts meets Division Style.
Aber das sind halt 3 Exos. Ne?
Ja.
Theoretisch, ne? Da kann man schon irgendwas damit zusammenbasteln.
Ja, immer wenn wir schön können. Allgemeine
Genau.
Ja, bitte kein 3.0 hier, nein. Glaub ich nicht. Verwechselst da was. Klingt aber geil. Oh, herrlich.